Hello, fellow Christmas lovers and enthusiasts. You are listening to Closer to Christmas. Today is October 8th. That means there are 78 days left until Christmas. All right, welcome back to Closer to Christmas. We're counting down some of our favorite gifts. I'm going to go with mine this time first, if you don't mind.
Yes.
We'll switch it up today. So this one, I don't know if you've had anything like this this was not in my town specifically, but in the town my grandparents lived in, which is the town next to mine anyway.
Mhm.
But their borough building did like a Christmas thing. It was probably a few weeks before Christmas, but Santa would drive through the town in a fire truck and he'd throw like popcorn balls out at the kids and candy, kind of like a little parade. But then Santa would drive around, and then at the end of his tour, he'd go to the borough building, and all the kids could go there, and you'd get like, I don't know if you have them. They look like a little plastic net stocking just filled with like some
Yes.
kind of like cheap stuff. But they used to hand those out. But the one year they were handing out presents, and my grandfather used to work for the borough building. And as a kid, you don't really think anything of it. But when I went up to see Santa, he was like, "Oh, hey, Charlie." I'm like, "Oh my God, Santa." He's
No.
like, he really knows who I am. I love this, And he
Yep.
hands me this present. So it was a wrapped box. It was only maybe 5 inches by 5 inch box. So I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Everyone else got some wrapped gifts, but I opened up this thing, and it was this Lego set, but I believe it was called a Lego Technic. It was just a bike, but then you could also make like a four-wheeler or something out of it.
Oh yeah.
I just thought it was the coolest thing as a little kid. I want to say mainly because Santa personally said, "Hey Charlie, this is for you," and gave it to
Yep.
me. And it was nothing huge, but just the impact it had because it was given directly to me from Santa. I loved it.
Oh yeah. That's To be honest, those ones are usually the most impactful. Like when you feel more of a connection to it, or when you are like, "Oh no, Santa gave this to me."
Yep. It was
Yeah.
specifically wrapped and made for me. I just picture him and his little
I
elves making it.
I was gonna say, I all I can imagine is a little elves putting those like pieces inside of a. Was it a cardboard box at that time, or were they in
Yeah.
packages?
Yep. Cardboard
Okay,
box.
of course. So yeah, I just imagine them placing all the little pieces in there and wrapping it so nicely.
Yeah, and the thing with the Lego Technics is like they're weird ones. Like they look more like Connects where they have like little
That's what I
rods and
thought.
yeah, that was a weird one. And like as a kid, you're like, this is the most advanced thing I'm ever gonna build in my life. But like nowadays, like I have Lego sets that take like months to build, like huge ones. But like back then, this probably took me a month to build something you can whip up in like an hour. But like I'm sitting there like with a magnifying glass looking through these things like they're schematics, and I'm building this like crazy device. But
Well,
I
because you had
loved
to
it.
like follow instructions and not just like YouTube the trick to like get it
Right.
done
Yeah.
quicker. Yeah.
Because it wasn't like a cheap little four-piece Lego set. It was, I mean,
Yes.
again, it wasn't huge, but it was,
Mhm.
I loved it. It was fun.
Well, I don't know. I think that kind of beats mine, but um, mine was I got a TV. Actually, sorry. I have a toss up between two, and I'll be quick with both of them. And the reason you'll see why. So in the year 2000, I got my own personal TV with a VCR in it for my room. So I was able to like I was the only girl in the house, and my brothers didn't want anything to do with me. So if they were watching wrestling downstairs, they didn't want me around. They didn't. So I was stuck a lot of times just like in my room by myself. And so to get a TV in my room, I was like, "Oh my God, like I have so much movies I can watch." And it was like almost like that little bit of company that I needed as a kid. And it just felt like I had a little best friend with my TV. So that's why it's very special to me. And yeah, so that was 2000. And the year after that, which is 2001, I I got a special cat for Christmas. So he was, and the reason why it was special is because I remember opening my gifts and I was like, this is weird. Like usually all of my brothers and my gifts are very even. Like they would get something big and I would get one thing big. But I
Mhm.
opened up all my gifts and I was like, that's weird. Okay. That's fine. I'll take my pajamas and my, stuff, and that's fine.
I'll be on
And
my
then my
way.
dad was like, "Do you see that letter there? I think it's got your name on it." And of course, it was like tucked in behind where the stockings were, so I didn't really see it. And I opened it, and it was this letter about because my mom was destined not to have cats or dogs that weren't. She said, "Oh, they have to be hypoallergenic." So,
Hmm.
anyways, it was this letter saying that there was a baby kitten waiting for me, and it was a Cornish Rex, which is a special type of hypoallergenic cat. He was waiting for me to be picked up on January 12th because that's when his mommy would be ready to give him up. So I got my cat Milo, and that was in 2001. So that was one of the top, Milo and my VCR, my TV VCR.
That's I love the cat one. Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah. I I don't think I've ever gotten a live pet for Christmas, but I could imagine though. It
I
would be
can't wait to talk about what I didn't get, by the way, later.
all right. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this one up and we'll be back tomorrow with our final one of our best gifts. Come back tomorrow while we discuss the final favorite gift. And remember, the next time you hear my voice in this podcast, we'll all be a little bit closer to Christmas. Thanks for listening.